view from the triangle. As you walk along, you can see the leaves have started to fall from the trees, and so the big piles of plane tree leaves, which form a total mess until they're cleaned up by the council. That building over there is the East Mill, built in 1912 as for the cotton industry, and then went on to make sewing machines. Beautiful blue skies today. This mill has been derelict for a while. It's owned by some trust fund or something, or property company. I think their plans to develop it didn't turn to anything. And this, believe it or not, is a hydroelectric power station which is powered from the River Derwent. Produces about 150 kilowatts of electricity when it's running flat out. Let's just go down to the rest of the mill. The building across the road is the old jail. A deep water channel leading over to the hydroelectric power, and it actually runs under the building. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a peregrine up at the top there. Somewhere up there, because the peregrines nest here every year. This is all part of the mill land, but with the shed access. Now coming onto the part which is called the River Gardens, which is occupied by the, or run by the Amber Valley Council, District Council. Big iron gates. It's quite a deep channel, this one. The water's about 4 or 5 metres deep. It's running pretty swiftly, so I won't fall in there. I know I've got the shadow projecting in here, but it makes life difficult otherwise. The noise from the road is quite substantial, but you get to ignore it. This is some of the ponds of the River Gardens. The rocks you can see are called pulmonite. They're a fake rock which was produced around 1900s when the park was first opened, and they're actually quite massive. People have forgotten how to make the pulmonite rock. You get a lot of geese and ducks. Not many ducks around today. A lot of geese and a lot of seagulls. And this is the retaining wall. The other side of that is the road up high. So this is the River Gardens. And there you can see the East Mill with a bit more of its glory. Let's just go up the steps. This used to be where the entrance was to the park. People had to pay a fee to get into them, which is equivalent to around £5 per person nowadays. And that's at a time when Belper was much more prosperous with all their manufacturing. For a while this was neglected, and then they got some national lottery funding to regenerate and improve it and repair the stuff. On a bright blue sky autumn day, this really is quite a nice place to be. We've got some ducks down there on the rocks in the middle. The structure across there is the bandstand. In summer you get bands playing every other weekend. And before that it was much more frequent. And the copper roof was restored, again with the lottery funding. Quite a lot of nice mature trees in here. Occasionally on that island they'll have a rather pitiful fountain running. It's either blocked or switched off at present. That's a rather nice sycamore tree, that one. Quite like that. These rocks are were quarried locally. These are local stones used to build the walls around here. So these rocks here, just here, are made from polemanite. And there's quite a nice little kiddies playground set up for sort of up to about 5-year-olds and things, and the kids love it. Come and play. There's some nice toys there. Here's another view of the bandstand in the autumn sunlight. And across the river, River Derwent is actually a lot narrower than this. Just the water level is raised by a dam, horseshoe dam or weir, and that was used to power the mills. It's a beautiful place. An island over there, lots of birds breeding on there. Train going through, East Midlands Railway. And the swans are pedalows, they've been recently introduced the past couple of years, and there were rowing skiffs down here by the river, but I think the company who does them has pretty much gone out of business. And that's the boat keeper's hut, and over there is the River Gardens cafe, which recently reopened this year after a long delay. It had been dilapidated before, but it was rebuilt. Amber Valley Borough Council with a lot of help from volunteers. In the summer you'll see people going out on the boats, and they're sponsored by the Amber Valley by the River Gardens cottage. So the company is called Park Life Boats, but it's all part of the same group. Nice breeze today, with that flood going quite nicely. The rainwater in the boats here that really needs to be pumped out, otherwise those boats are going to get damaged. Just go across the crest and come out of the sunlight so you can see. Benches, and you put them in memoriam for various people, but the councils don't look after them terribly well. The pond's quite filled with rainwater. The slightly smaller building dead ahead is North Mill, which is the actual really old one, and the lower flat thing with the white surrounds is the canteen for the mills. So yes, rather pleasant area. I have absolutely no idea what the purpose of this barrage is. It's presumably some health and safety thing to stop people going near the weir. I think you should just have some signs up there and say don't go there. It used to be a straight line, but the floods stretch it in the winter. That heavy duty cable. There are some wild swans around here as well, which you might see. Helicopter up there, you can hear it. You can see on this camera, I think. But isn't this a beautiful area to live? And also this fake pulmonite rock built up to give the impression of cliffs. This is the old boathouse. It was used to store the boats, but it's used now by the council for their equipment. I'll have a quick look over this one. So you can just see the upper edge of the horseshoe weir, and the sluice gate's over to the right, and then what I'm pointing at is the canteen, that flat building. It's built maybe in the 50s, but it's totally rotten and needs to be demolished. And some houses have an absolutely fantastic view over the valley. There used to be a big Strutt house up there, from the Strutt family, who were effectively billionaires who got the factories going here. And the house was neglected and demolished 40-50 years ago. So this is the north side of the East Mill. These are the sluice gates which control the water going into the watermesh wheels that power the mill. We get all sorts of debris along here, which every so often the people running the hydroelectric power have to pull out from the river so it doesn't clog up their sluices. At the moment they're fully open and water is going through flat out. They kind of need some maintenance, but they seem to work. And there you can just see the part, the horseshoe wheel. We'll get a better look in a minute. So this space used to be the canteen with kitchens for the workers in the East Mill. So effectively this is a ginormous mill pond, and the water stored was used to power the mill. During the day the level would drop down as the mill wheel took energy from the water, and around 5 o'clock there used to be a siren to warn kids to get out from under the weir, because the weir would stop running, and when the mill closed for the day the water level would rise again, and the water would start going across the top of the horseshoe weir. This is the top of a flood control sluice, which opens automatically when the water level gets too high. That's a nice picture of the horseshoe weir. Just a car park for the North Mill. Gates are stuck open by the river debris. Those weir gates are normally shut. This is North Mill here now. There used to be a demonstration centre of the North Mill, but that's lost its council funding, so it's closed down. So just there's a few companies that rent space in North Mill as office space. Well, there's a bridge over there at the Belper, and the water's fairly busy today. There's a nice shot of the horseshoe weir. Across the road are sluices. Down there is one of the sluices which used to go into the mill. I think we'll finish at this point. So it's really kind of a really nice area.